What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Tasty Tuesday on Tasty Luke Gaming, the show where we talk about gaming news. My name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
I'm Cody.
And I'm Chris.
And a quick reminder, stay tuned. This week, we'll have Plus Club up on Friday. We'll be talking about Tricky Towers, still Trick Towers on the fucking on the thing behind us, and Rebel Galaxy. Make sure to play those games. Come back on Friday. We'll be talking about them. Let us know what you thought of them. But we have 5 things of news to talk about, so let's get into that. For our first bit of news, Konami has released a trailer for their new Metal Gear Solid game without Kojima. It's called Metal Gear Solid Survive, and it is a 4-player first-person shooter, I guess. We all watched the trailer. Let's talk about it. What do you guys think?
Well, other information on that, too, is that it's not going to be a $60 game.
Okay.
It's going to be...
Doesn't look like one.
Yeah, it'll probably be $30-40.
Okay.
They also said there will be stealth elements in it, even though the trailer didn't really show any off.
Yeah.
Besides all that, I mean, I understand from a business perspective why they're doing it. Just as a, person who has watched the shit show that they went through with Kojima unfold, and then this just seems like rubbing salt in a wound that should be healed by now. So
yeah. Any other thoughts on that aspect?
Well, it just didn't seem like they just gave enough time. I mean, Metal Gear Solid 5 came out really recently.
Yeah, less than
fairly recently, but this is just like a slap in the face. It's like, boom, we're gonna do. Remember what we booted Kojima out. This is what we're doing now. They didn't even give any time at all. So it seems really weird.
It's really interesting because around the time that they were kind of kicking Kojima out, they were saying like, I know you guys wanted fucking Silent Hills, we know you wanted more Metal Gear Solids, we promise to release more of these games on our own. Obviously we haven't seen anything of Silent Hills yet, but it's interesting to see them already releasing something off the Metal Gear Solid property. When I watched this, a lot of people were talking about like it was a sequel. If you watch the trailer, you see it's supposed to tie in somehow to Metal Gear Solid 5. But at least they're holding to what they said, even though, in my own personal opinion, it feels like a cash grab. It feels like they're taking the brand and going, let's make the most fucking soulless Call of Duty Zombies ripoff we can, throw Metal Gear Solid on there, and fucking sell it.
Just Chris. Based off the gameplay, though. That's sorry.
No, go ahead.
Just they're taking like the gameplay and making it something. It's like that's not where the heart and soul is. Like you're saying, it's like about these games. It's about the characters and shit like that. Now they're just being like, boom. Well, we don't. I don't know anything.
Well, to be
about
honest, Konami doesn't have a fucking chance ever to make anything as important as Metal Gear Solid ever has been, and they won't. So anyone who sees this trailer and is surprised, you need to kind of get behind and see what the fuck Konami's really about right now. They don't care. They're making money. This is a bastardization of Metal Gear Solid, plain and simple. I should have a bigger opinion on it because I'm a huge MGS fan. It's my favorite series ever, but at the same time, Metal Gear Solid is dead. It's fucking dead. Whatever they release, I won't support, I won't buy. I'm not interested in it, no matter what it is. And as ridiculous as it looks, I don't care because it's not Metal Gear Solid. Mm-hmm. Chris, opinions?
Well, just from watching the trailer, I mean, first, I'm not really a big Metal Gear Solid fan. I played maybe 2 of the games, and not even all the way through. Mm-hmm. But the looks of the game, it just kind of looks like a reskinned version of Left 4 Dead, to be honest. Yeah. And even then, like, none of the characters from what little games I've played I could recognize as, like, any, like, significant characters from the old Metal Gear Solid games. So it's just kind of like...
All the playable characters aren't actually from the other games. They're just, like...
There you go.
They're just dudes they made. Yeah. Like, they're literally just using the storyline of 5 to wrap into this bullshit fucking FPS they're making.
Yeah, it's dumb.
It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. And, of course, it's going to sell to certain people. If it was called something else, I might look into it. But because I know the background of the situation, it'll be impossible for me to support that. I can't give them my money.
Yeah.
Any last thoughts on that? Chevy, you didn't really say a whole lot about the game itself. What'd you think of the trailer?
I know it's using the Fox engine, but you can tell that they're not
Utilizing it?
Yeah. In the same regard, because even in the beginning where you do see Snake and Cause, they're still fully detailed because that model's still there, but then you see all the playable characters and the level of detail really isn't there anymore, which I'm not saying they have to be fully fleshed out characters in the same regard, because I understand you're just playing as essentially a generic soldier in the game, but they don't even like match. Like if you stood them next to each other, they don't seem like they're from the same game.
The lack of giving a fuck is very apparent.
Yeah.
In it.
Yeah.
They're making a soulless, FPS.
Yeah, it just didn't seem like they spent a lot of time, even using the assets they have to make this. And I kind of get that once I read that they're making a $30 game.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna actually give too much shit on that at that point, because they're not making a AAA $60 game.
Yeah. Well, if anything, if I could defend this, it is it's an offshoot idea
Which
on a
they've done
property that's
before.
beloved, but still, it's still like a standalone DLC almost.
I don't know. It's just very reminiscent of a recent game Capcom did, Umbrella Corps.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
literally just thinking that. Yeah.
Sure.
So, we'll see, obviously, as more details come out, but I have a feeling, I don't know. I don't think it's going to do well. So.
I don't think I was going to say I don't think it's going to get the support at all, just because of the whole Kojima thing fallout.
Final question: is anybody interested in this game to the point where they would put money towards it?
Even if it wasn't Metal Gear, it didn't seem that interesting to me. to be
Yeah.
honest.
Oh, yeah.
Fair.
No.
So.
A lot of my bias has to do with the Metal Gear thing, but even as a game, I already said I might check it out if it was a different property. But I play like everything, especially when it comes to FPSs. I played Umbrella Corps.
Yeah.
But yeah, I also am on the same page. I can't put money towards this, and I hope a lot of people don't. I don't want Konami. They already fucked everybody. It's over. There's no redeeming that. But I don't want people supporting this kind of business.
Yeah.
They need to go make their pachinko machines and fucking stay over there.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Were they making a Metal Gear Solid or a Silent Hill one?
Metal Gear.
Metal Gear 1.
Yeah, okay.
Based off Metal Gear Solid 3.
Anyway, on to the second topic. Cody, bring it in. No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky, the highly anticipated title from Hello Games, just released. We all played it, but on top of mediocre reviews, is getting a lot of flack right now for things that weren't in the game when it was released that they had promised during E3 and all those kind of things. What do you guys think about that?
Well, for me, I mean, and I have recently checked and seen some of the promises and stuff like that. I honestly think one of the huge mistakes they've made was I don't think the guy making the game should be their
Spokesperson?
marketing person, essentially. I'm enjoying the game myself, but I do understand.
Yeah, let's talk about that first.
Well, no, I was just gonna say I do enjoy the game. I don't think it's an amazing game like you and me have kind of talked about before. But I don't think it's a bad game either.
No,
like
it's
a lot
not.
of people compare it to Spore. I've even seen some people
Spore
saying
2.0.
Spore was a better game, and I actually have to completely disagree with that.
No.
Spore is a cool character creator with a really shitty game attached to it.
Yep.
This game is an exploration game, which was kind of constantly being told to us anyways.
They're very clear about that,
Yeah,
to be
and
honest.
I understand the being upset about, you see the original video and just like the way it's presented and stuff. And the game doesn't look like that, and I get that.
That's every game that is shown at
But
E3.
that's an that's a problem with marketing in
Yeah.
I
general.
try not to attack that too much just because you have to show off the game. You have to make it look as good as possible. But if you do too well at making it look great and then you release it as good, it can be a problem. I don't think it's that much better looking, though, in the original trailer. I think that's people nitpicking.
I think so, too. I do also understand that they had originally said, completely free content updates, and now they're humoring the idea that paid DLC would work.
Yeah, let's talk about that. They originally said that they were not going to do any pay-for DLCs, and then recently they did not say they're going to do that, but said they're open to the idea, which is kind of a backstab to the people who are expecting something. Now, obviously, if I liked the game more, this wouldn't even bother me, sadly. But because I am kind of on the fence about the game, I'm like, well, you can't really say that. You can't really do that, because for the people who aren't as fair thinking about it, they're gonna, that's instantly you lying to them. What do you guys think about the pay for DLC?
That's pretty, I mean, chintzy. I mean, it's just kind of, he's the word. That's the only word I could come up with.
Sean Murray, you hear that? It's chintzy. Chintzy fucker.
Well, no, it's just kind of, I don't know. When we talked about it before, it's like we kind of feel bad about for the guys, because it's like, is a small team making this game, who made the game, it is, you know what I mean, like it just has a huge company backing it, and it's like they're gonna get their cut, no doubt. They're getting their cut. They already did get their cut, I'm sure.
They already got it.
But it's like, so now you're on top of that. If it didn't get, and then we even talked about it in the previous show, it's like this game's either going to be really bad or really good, and it's just mediocre. I mean, in my
that's the thing that kind of sucks
so
about
it's
the
like,
situation is like, with the hype, it had to meet the hype or fail, but it landed in the middle, and so you have a lot of people bitching about the things that are bitchable about it.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's. Does anyone here think it's a bad game?
no, I don't think it'll. Yeah.
We actually, and I know I keep kind of jumping subjects, but we don't have a lot of time. We should actually discuss on a longer show. But me, you, and Chris, Cody, and Chris, talked about that this is almost like an indie developed game with the hype of a AAA game. And I feel like, and me and Sherry talked about this before too, I feel like the hype is the biggest factor on why this game is getting so much negative reviews. And of course, the PC had its issues; those are fixable. But all the real issues people are talking about, I feel like they were promised something that they didn't get, and now they're essentially throwing a temper tantrum over it.
Oh yeah.
Chris, any thoughts on anything we've discussed?
The DLC thing, I think you should make it free, just because it'd be probably good publicity for your game.
Yeah.
I understand the marketing aspect of getting money out of it. I totally understand that, but for the betterment of your game, I would say make a couple of the DLCs free, like some of the like quality of life add-ons, and then for future DLCs, fine, you can charge like, I don't know, $5 for like some extra content. I
have a question then. Instead of doing DLCs, maybe after a year of the game being out, to respark people's interest in it and to kind of let the hype, disappointment fade away. Would you think that it'd be better for them to do DLCs or to just do like an expansion?
See, okay, so what I think they should do, and that's a really good point you're making, is release patches that fix the game,
and
add
stuff.
features, stuff like that. Base building, they've been promising it's going to happen. My review of the game will change based off that, because it's something I want. But if they are going to do the pay for stuff, they should wait on it for a long time. You said a year?
Yeah,
That's
not.
a good,
Yeah.
at the least, do a year.
Don't go the route of Destiny.
Get people invested, free to play. We already paid for it, but free to play. Get people loving the game.
Yeah.
Work on fucking that connection. Make sure people who bought the game are comfortable and loving it. Then work on the money. Don't release a game like this, which obviously subjectively can be good or bad depending who you talk to, and then expect money from people. Because that only makes it seem more schemy. It makes it seem more like that GIF that shows the ship in No Man's Sky flying, and it says No Man's Sky, and it's breaking down. And then it zooms up and shows Sean Murray on a fucking unicycle thing with a fucking a helicopter, and there's just money raining from him. Like, he's just getting the fuck away. Like, get away from that idea.
Yeah.
Like, fucking stop.
The EA.
Stop making people feel like you're just fucking stealing our money. But I think that's fair. A year.
Yeah.
A year would be fair.
That's
release good patches. Fix the game, get people fucking talking about it again, get people to stop bitching about the game. And then, if you're going to ask for money, do it then. Right now is not the fucking time.
What? And go big with it. Don't do like... I don't think... I personally would rather see an expansion. Like, hey, we're going to add an entire new alien species. We're going to add a whole new, ship type, design, just the whole works. Just add, and essentially just focus it maybe just on like an entire new species and their tech and their stuff, and just
Well, one
slap
thing,
a $20, $30 price tag
Yeah.
on that.
one thing we talk about too, is specifically myself, is I know they don't want to do multiplayer, but if they want to fucking fix the situation, put multiplayer in the fucking game.
Yeah.
Wait a year, and then release it then, maybe, and then it'll reinvigorate the brand, you know. But they have to do something, because with the hype, as fair or unfair as it is, the hype has made people think a certain way. They have to remedy that. They have to fix it, otherwise they're fucked.
It's got all the issues of an indie game.
It's an indie game with a AAA hype.
Yeah, I mean that's the only thing. It's like it's got all the same issues, but now they just have so much freaking the hype, and they have so much recognition now. Not necessarily good recognition, but yeah, like it's not a lot is saving them. That might do it.
Yeah.
I want to end the segment with your overall experience with the game, not necessarily what you've been doing, but what you feel of it and what you'd like to see come from it.
I'm enjoying it. I would like to see just some small quality of life changes, mostly. I find it to be a little bit of a headache to constantly be gathering materials for certain aspects of things, and if they just made that a little more streamlined, I think it would alleviate some of that grind feel. So
I like the music in the game. Music's cool. Whenever I like the
aesthetic.
like it's really And then is
All them.
that what it is?
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Huh.
Sean Murray's
I like
That's
it.
Fair band, so he asked them. They did it. It's really cool.
That's interesting. I did not know that. I love I love the music, love the sound effects, everything, and like that aspect of the game is cool. I love, I like the look of it. I hate the inventory space shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you got to get bigger ships and stuff like that,
It
but most
could
of the
be
ships
done
you
better,
see,
though.
it's like, you see, by this, like I only have like 300,000 units, and like a ship that has 3 more inventory spaces is like a million units. So I hate that kind of stuff, but that's just kind of grindy. Other than that, it's just a lot of like the resource gathering stuff is just really silly. But I'm gonna, I'll keep playing it, but I don't know how long that's gonna last.
Chris.
I enjoy it. It's kind of like a mindless, fun game that I play. I would like to see, though, if you're not really going to implement like straight on like multiplayer, give me an option to like make like, I guess a clan is the best way I can think of it, with my friends, where we can exchange information about creatures and planets that we found, and just at least talk to each other.
a
in the
social
game.
feature.
Yeah.
The game desperately needs some kind of social feature. If it's an online game, but you're still single player, I get that. But at the same time, take a note from fucking Dark Souls, the series, and fucking make it a single player game, but still make it still feel like you're not fucking by yourself.
That's that I can see that. That's kind of interesting too,
Yeah.
just because you're like the invader stuff, or
Yep.
not necessarily like that, but I can see that like calling
But some
someone
kind
up
of
or
system
Yeah.
that makes you understand that other people are experiencing the same thing you're experiencing.
Sure.
And just share that.
Yeah.
For me, I think the game is fun, and I went into it without the hype of thinking things that weren't in the game. I wasn't surprised by anything like that, but I was surprised by how casual the game is. It doesn't need to be hardcore in any way, but it does need substance. It does need content. It does need something to drive you, and that's the only thing about it that it's not a bad game in any way, but it is a game that I will definitely play something else over. And I don't want it to be like
Doesn't
that.
seem like there's an end game. It's just like try to get as far as you can, or get to the center of the universe.
It's an exploration game, and I love that.
Yeah.
My favorite part about the game is finding things and naming them.
That's cool, man.
But at the same time, like I want more from it. And the game is literally on the fucking cusp of being like the next Minecraft.
Yeah.
It could be if it wanted to be, and it's not. And I'm not saying they have to do that, but I'm saying the potential there is fucking huge. Why not fucking realize that?
Yeah.
Right? A couple things I'd like to see is the base building come out. They already said that they're doing that. I know they don't want to do it, but I feel like multiplayer will fucking put a band-aid on the fucking wound. It will fix so many of their problems. And social features. If they can't do multiplayer, social features, for sure. I'm with you on that. It is like we said before, it's an indie game with AAA hype. It doesn't have enough content or enough oomph to fucking keep you in the game, but is not in any way a bad game. Mm-hmm. It's not a bad game. Regardless of all the things in the videos you've watched on YouTube, him promising certain things through whatever the fuck that was. It's not. It's a well-made game. It's cool. I like it. I just don't want to.
It's original.
I don't want to level it out with other games I'd rather play.
Yeah.
I bought a $60 game. I want to be excited. I want to fucking play. I want to sit there and just fucking put hours into it. I don't want to put it on just to waste some time.
Yeah, I hate feeling that way of buying. Like I just bought it, and actually I said that to you. I'm like, man, I can't. It sucks that I bought it. I mean, I'm having fun with it, but I'm like, I should.
Well, that says it enough.
Yeah, and I'm like,
fucking bought the game.
Yeah.
It's not a bad game, but you're still saying it sucks that you bought it. Felt the same way with fucking. You guys have been Borderlands. I can't remember the name of the fucking game.
Oh, Battleborn.
Battleborn.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Battleborn was gamble, and I bought it. I liked it, but I don't see myself playing it. I don't want to buy another $60 game like that.
Yeah,
you know?
that sucks.
Any last thoughts on No Man's Sky, disappointment, or what you'd like to see with it?
Nope.
All right, on to the next topic.
So the PlayStation 4 is getting another firmware update, version 4.0. It's currently in beta. You can sign up for it, I believe, through their website. But as of yet, right now, features that it's going to be including will be a variety of UI changes to essentially be more streamlined. Example right now is if you hold the home button, it actually loads in a whole other screen. What they want to do now is have the screen actually bump in from the side, so your game is still on the screen and your menu stuff is there. And that'll
Xbox One-ish.
I believe. I don't have a lot of experience with Xbox One. So.
Xbox One has a side menu, a little pop-up.
Yeah.
And stuff.
So yeah, very similar to that. They're also going to do that with all their other menus. So not just the quick menu, but the share menu, and any other menu that happens during game play. They're also going to make changes in the share options with video sharing, specifically with Twitter. Right now, when you share a video to Twitter, it can only be 10 seconds long, and they're going to be bumping that up to 140 seconds.
Cool.
Folders now, so you can
Which
actually
is
huge requested feature. They're adding it. You can make your own folders and actually put things in there instead of it just being the straight line with the one folder at the end. And then easier access to trophies. And some examples they gave was if you want to opt into seeing what the hidden trophies are, you can. You can also access them offline now instead of having to be connected to the internet. Okay. And the whole interface for it is just supposed to be more of a... they kind of described it as like a pyramid, as your common trophies be at the bottom all the way up to your more rare trophies. So.
Okay. I'm going to jump into this. The folder thing's awesome. I feel like everybody's going to agree with that. Scrolling through your most recently played stuff makes sense, but at the same time, having my games in a folder, having my video stuff that I typically use in a folder is a lot faster, more organized. That's awesome. I also really like not going to a whole other screen to do things in your options. So if you're playing game, you have a side menu. I think it's awesome. I think it's a really good idea.
The share one was a big thing for me because it's just like anytime even when I'd accidentally hit the share one, it's just like, whoa, and bring up this whole new screen. I'm like, what the fuck? Especially in Dark Souls.
Yep.
Like if I'm in the middle of a boss fight or something, it's like, no! Like, it's so bad.
But overall, I think it's awesome. I love seeing improvements, and this sounds like they're nailing everything that I want so far. You guys' thoughts?
That's going to be cool. The folder thing is awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, that's straight PC stuff. I mean, it's always nice having folders. Organized things are cool, even though I don't have a whole lot on there right now. But I didn't really get the way it was before. But I always knew that they were going to end up doing the folder thing. So I'm glad it's coming. I'm glad that this update is all about the hub, basically, or like the home page. That's super cool.
There are other changes in there too that are all just like essentially mostly, to use the term again, quality of life stuff.
Yeah.
It's always interesting to see the UI changes though with consoles over the time. Like the PS3 did a couple, but not too much. But the 360, if you look at the original 360 versus the last 360 UI, huge fucking difference.
Yeah.
And it was improving. Every once in a while they released one that wasn't as good as the last one, but they did improve upon it. So it's really cool to kind of see them starting what in the future we'll look back and be like, well, I remember when they did that, and all the good things and all the bad things. It's cool.
Yeah. Well, and especially with which will tie in obviously to our last story, so I won't get into it too much, but with the console cycles being probably different in the future, it does make sense to keep improving upon the UI. So
yeah, Chris,
I find it interesting. I'm not super stoked for it because the way the UI system is now is very similar to the PSP's system, and I played that for so long. I'm used to it, so it's just like second nature to me. The folder thing's gonna be neat. It's gonna be like a 3DS. I have a bunch of my games and stuff organized, but that's because I have games downloaded on my 3DS. I don't have a lot of games downloaded onto my PS4 because I don't have the space.
For fucking downloaded.
Well, I don't have the space for it. I haven't upgraded my hard drive,
Me
so
neither, dude.
yeah.
the need for extra folder space. I mean, it's
I'm uninstalling constantly.
It's interesting, but I don't see the super big need for it.
I just got a new hard drive.
What do you think about the folders?
What's what I meant? The folders.
So that's
I don't
good.
see a super big need for it because I don't have a lot of stuff downloaded onto my PS4.
Well, even if they're not downloaded, though.
Okay, that's why I got confused.
I was gonna say, because if you go all the way to the right to the folder and at the end,
The library.
and then it'll say all games, apps, blah
Because
blah.
even when
Oh,
you put
yeah,
a game
yeah,
in
yeah.
a disc, it's still installed.
Yeah, you'll
stuff.
still have your icon for games you own, whether it's installed or not. You can still put all those icons into their own individual folders, regardless if they're installed or not. And then when you do want to play it, if you know where it's at, you can easily install it without having to go all the way to the last menu. So,
Didn't PS3 have folders?
no,
It didn't?
no, it was very much like the Vita, where there was a game
Oh, okay.
line, a video line,
Yeah.
a streaming service one. The PS4 is just a very smoother version of the PS3's, and I
Oh, okay.
believe flip-flopped.
It's a lot better.
I
for
don't,
sure.
I haven't been on mine in a while.
Wrapping it up, overall, I'm very excited for it. I think these are a lot of
Very
changes
cool.
that I wanted to see. I'm one of those weird guys that gets excited for firmware updates, so I'm excited. I think it's cool. What are you guys' last thoughts on that?
Well, going back to the whole console life cycle thing, it's like get me into the game quicker, like make it neater, make it like where I can go to my games to play those games faster. I mean, it's already fast, but it's like just give me one area. I have to cycle through things, or you know what I mean. So
Well, I saw something random too. Like I have the way it's set up now, you have to go into your whole fucking game library and scroll through shit.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a game I've uninstalled, but I want to revisit soon. Maybe I can make even a folder for
yeah.
that.
Because I do the
Games
same
that
thing.
are
I do the
back
same
forever.
thing on Steam, where
I
I'm
don't
like
have to go
need to
search for
play
them.
or whatever like
Yep.
that. That'd be
And
really
As soon as I'm
cool.
about to uninstall a game, I
like
can just
it.
throw it into that folder and be like, I can come back to it easier. I won't forget about it because it's not,
It's very
gone
cool.
now.
Very cool. Yeah.
Random thought. Anyway,
Yeah.
Chris, last thoughts on that?
I'm kind of
Indifferent.
about it. Yeah.
Fair.
It's a
All right.
nihilist.
On to the fourth topic. So rumors have come out of a PS4 Slim. UK website Gumtree has, which is an auction site, very much like eBay, has a listing for an unreleased model of Sony's PS4 for 295 euros, which I'm going to assume is about 300 to 400 or $350 US. That is a slim version of the PS4. There are actually pictures that look pretty legitimate. Sony has not said anything about this at all. What do you guys think about, and I want to be very clear for anyone watching this, these are rumors. If it comes out tomorrow, the day after, it's not true. Whatever. But if it is true, what are you guys' thoughts on a slim PS4? Obviously, they have the Neo coming out soon, which is an updated version of the PS4, and Scorpio for the Xbox One is coming out, updated version of the Xbox One, but they are also releasing a slim version of the Xbox One. What do you guys think about PS4 doing the same thing?
Well, it just seems like they will do that. I mean, that fits in the pattern of consoles.
It's
I do
very
think,
standard.
yeah. So I think it's kind of weird that they're, because I'm not totally sure on what you probably talked about it before, but the release date for the Neo.
I don't think it's been released.
Probably
there's one?
2017, because
Okay.
that's what
Yeah.
they're saying with Scorpio. So
So if that comes out
Damn, that far
sooner
out.
than that,
That is almost like a new console.
almost.
so if the slimmer version comes out sooner than that, it'll almost be like the new, or like the last console generation. But yeah, I mean, I think they will still sell. If not, people will rebuy it or just gain, or people who don't have PS4s will buy it.
This only makes sense if the Slim is substantially cheaper than the Neo, for me. Because obviously they've already discussed or said that that when the Neo comes out, you'll still be able to play all the same games on both consoles. Me and Shiv actually talked about them kind of phasing out the old PS4s with the new PS4, which made sense as well. But this also makes a lot of sense because if you make a cheaper version of the PS4 as it is now, you're still pulling in money from people who can't afford the newer version or don't have 4K TVs, all that stuff like that. Makes sense to me. I was actually wondering where the PS4 Slim was at. So if this is true, if it is true, makes complete sense to me. I have no interest in buying one because I want a Neo. But yeah, makes sense. Thoughts?
I've always hated the concept of slim consoles.
Really?
I just find it so stupid. Here I go, spend all of my hard-earned money on a console, and not too long afterward, you put out this fucking slim version of it, which really doesn't have much different than the original console, other than the fact that the hardware in it is smaller, which makes it easier to overheat because there's less airspace in there. But with the Neo coming out too, that also makes me a little miffed that I spent all this money, because I very rarely go out and buy consoles. It's a big deal for me to buy a console.
For sure.
And for them just to be like, okay, well, here's a new one.
Not me, I'm like, I'm going to buy an Xbox One. And it's going to sit there and do nothing.
You think the only big difference there, though, is you're not being excluded, though.
True.
So can we not talk about this, but talk about Slims for a second? Okay, so the console comes out, and as is, at the price point, it's available. People buy it. The Slim's purpose, and I'm not telling you as if you don't know, I'm just throwing it out there for people watching. The Slim's purpose is, as time goes by, technology gets smaller, it gets cheaper. So they can now offer a more convenient-sized console that does the same thing. Makes complete sense to me. I've actually never owned a Slim in my life. Me and Chevy have always been gamers since the fucking beginning. Since our beginning. Obviously, games around before that.
Father Time.
But for people who are not as adamant, the casual crowd, or people who don't have money, they can't buy the newest console when it comes out, and they wait a little bit. And now there is a version that's made with cheaper parts, or the technology's got cheaper to make, or it's gotten smaller, and now they can afford it. For the people, it's literally like you're filling this thing with the people who are buying it, but you have to fill the gaps that are missing. And the Slim is there to do that. It's for people who don't have in their house for whatever reason, and now this is the most tangible reason for them to actually pick it up. So Slims make sense for me. They don't offer anything for me personally to buy them, but they make complete sense for me. So even on that kind of idea, you still don't like Slims at all.
I don't.
About a PS3.
I get it.
Slim.
I get it.
My first.
The way you explained it, I totally get it. Like, it's cheaper for people who haven't necessarily bought it when the system launched.
It's always like 2-3 years afterwards anyway, so it's like, if you're adamant and you want that console, you're going to buy the fucking console.
Yeah.
If you're the person who hasn't bought in 3 or 4 years, now you might.
Yeah. It's just... I wish that if you're going to make a slim version, make the original console slim. Make it tiny, as small as possible. I get the technology.
They phase out the original.
It is the original still. It's just smaller.
Angry.
It's literally the same thing.
It's so frustrating.
This one's going to be 500 gigs, so it's about the same as your PS4.
Identical.
Yeah.
I guess it's just for me. It's like I spent all that money. Now it's the same thing, just cheaper. Sucks to be me.
That's all
technology.
In some kind of way,
I
do
know.
you feel like you're being cheated?
Kind of.
Okay, same thing though. Well, kind of the same thing, but iPhones.
Except they're getting bigger. But.
Well, yeah. I mean, it seems like they're going way.
Yeah, they got small and then they got bigger.
But it's like the same kind of thing. It's like they release a new one.
The plastic ones.
See,
that's the one I had.
They're made for people who don't want to spend a shitload of money on a phone.
Cheapos.
It looks the same.
it's also a cheaper export to other
China.
countries, China specifically.
Yeah.
Name drop.
China, what's up? Like,
Ni
subscribe,
hao.
China.
All China.
All of China, like, subscribe. There's a lot of you.
But no, it's the same kind of thing though. It's like people that you're going to release a new product. People like smaller things. That's maybe not Chris, but
Well, especially in the Xbox case, man. That thing's a fucking brick.
Yeah.
I had this big ass brick, this Bela Haley, just sitting
dude.
next to my TV, and I don't use it. And I look over, I'm like, I bought that, and I don't use it. But just sits there. It's big. It takes up fucking 1/4 of my room. And fucking
That's
eventually
so
comes
sleek.
out, it's like this slim little fucking sliver of fucking just gameplay, and just it's there. Like it makes sense to me. I don't know.
snort coke off it
But
like
yeah.
a real player.
Yeah. but like a real player.
Cody.
But
Oh my god.
We live in interesting
Yeah.
times, though, because we have Slims coming out, if this is true, but of course the Xbox One Slim is absolutely true.
yeah,
Right.
We live in an interesting time, though, because we have those coming out, but we also have upgraded versions. So this will tie into the last topic we're talking about, but this is a really interesting time because we have these upgraded versions of consoles coming out, too. It gives you choice, and I always think choice is a great thing.
Mm-hmm.
I hate being trapped into a situation where you have to get this, and it's cool. It's interesting. Lasting thoughts on a Slim PS4 and overall the whole landscape of Slims and upgraded consoles.
I mean, it's inevitable. They've done it with every generation.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it fits
makes
the pattern. I dropped mine a couple times, so
You carrying it around?
I'm banking that. No, I got it when it first came out, and just a couple times, and just got really excited and
Pick up
pulled
your
it off the
PS4 and go to the
freaking.
bathroom, like, oh baby,
Excited.
let's
Just, yeah!
Pulled it up, yeah. So it's a little loud, so I'm banking on a new one.
go. Xbox One, surprisingly, is very quiet. So they promise
Dude.
the new one's just as quiet.
Mine is like an air like a jet plane.
Name drop, Rob. Electronics don't go together.
Broccoli Rob. Hashtag Broccoli Rob.
Chris, last thoughts. Still not interested.
No, why would I buy it?
You already have a PS4.
I have a PS4.
You're not
Not
the
the
demographic.
demographic.
Yeah.
Yep. We have animosity.
Yes, I have such
I own
animosity.
this, but fuck you.
Fuck you.
Are you interested in
how
Neo?
dare
not,
you make
not
a
the
version
topic,
for other
but are you
people?
interested in Neo at all? Just so people know. You want it.
I don't have the TV to play it.
You want it.
Why would I
Make
want
right
it?
now.
I don't have.
You will eventually.
I am a student who has a part-time job as a nanny. I don't have that kind of money to drop.
Sure.
Maybe a
I'm-
Neo Slim. Oh, and then I'll actually buy a Slim
Give
for
it time.
once in my life.
2020, it's coming.
But then I'll be way behind the times of everybody else.
Except for the same games, they'll be out.
Yeah, it was,
Hey, still gonna play with all of us. Your best friends.
yeah. Hey, we'll still be here, hopefully.
Hopefully we're all still here
Yeah.
by then. Sadly, I'm probably only gonna buy 4K TV because of
Yeah.
the consoles are going.
Yep.
I thought it'd be movies. I don't care. I if there's a console that can utilize 4K, buying 4K TV.
Go.
So,
Mm.
lasting thoughts, Cody and Chevy.
Already did this.
You already
No,
did that?
I will
Well,
probably.
I feel like Cody said
I'm
something.
sure I said something stupid, not related at all. But I'm probably gonna buy it. Actually, I did say I was gonna buy it because I dropped mine.
Did you say anything about the Neo?
Yeah.
What did you say?
I just said it was inevitable.
Cool.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
On to last topic. Shall we bring it in?
So speaking of the console generation and the direction it's heading, Microsoft's Aaron Greenberg was asked by Engadget if they think this will be the final console generation, and in response, Greenberg believes that it is, and that we, Microsoft, believe the future will be without console generations. Everything you have will continue forward, and we think of this as a family of devices instead of jumps of console generations. How do we feel about the prospect of the... Basically, this guy is thinking that you're not going to have, and we've already kind of seen it, the consoles don't jump that much anymore, and that we'll just slowly improve upon what we have, but be able to continue playing our library now.
Two things real quick before we get into this. First off, they also came out and said that they don't mean to say that this is final, but they're gonna watch how this happens.
Yeah, it was a
and
we'll
use it
see
as
moment.
as a test run, which
Yeah.
makes sense. Secondly, this reminds me of PCs.
Well,
This
exactly.
is nothing new. But yeah, what do you guys think?
I mean, you said it. It's literally, and you've been kind of saying this for years anyways, that consoles were heading the direction of PCs anyways.
Yeah.
Just more
I love
convenient,
being right.
more convenient PCs. Even Steam made a little device
Yeah.
that you could put next to your TV and use the Steam controller to play your PC games. I mean, that's where they're
all
all
merging.
kind of going. So
Well, I mean, the PS4 is just a computer. I mean, so is like Xbox.
So is Xbox
It's like,
One.
dude, yeah, it's like,
Simplify PCs.
yep. So just people don't like. The only difference between that is
They
like
don't like Slims.
they don't like. I mean, like for us, and I have a PC, and I hate like having to like upgrade every few months or whatever. It seems like every
Oh
few
god, I
months.
hope you're not upgrading every few months.
I'm just saying it seems like every few
You
months.
must have a supercomputer.
But hey, keeping up, trying to keep up.
Twice a year.
But it's like people who buy consoles who are gamers don't want to upgrade at all in that aspect. They don't want to upgrade their hard drive. I mean, shit, I upgraded my PS4 hard drive, and that just seemed like I was, upgrading my PC. It was really weird.
You actually did upgrade your PS4 hard drive?
Yeah.
Really? What is it at now?
2 terabytes.
Was it easy to install?
Yeah,
It's supposed to be stupid easy. Yeah.
it's really easy.
Okay.
Except the only problem with that is I forgot to upload
PT
a
on my
couple
fucking hard
games,
drive, though.
like GTA, which I was at like, I don't know, like 80% done with that entire game, and I didn't upload it. So
Are you
pissed
able
about
to
that.
keep the games that are installed? The reason I would ask, and we're getting off topic
Yes.
here, but I have PT,
Yeah.
and you cannot re-download that.
Yeah.
Ooh. If it's in your library, then it's there.
No,
There's no service for PT anymore. They're gone.
they took it out of the
Can't
store, and
download
if you deleted it, you cannot re-download it.
Damn.
It's like
so
Flappy
probably
Bird.
no.
They
Yeah,
took away
pretty much,
Flappy
yeah.
Bird. You
Well, that's
couldn't get
probably
it.
why people were selling their PS4s when they came
There's
out.
a reason I haven't done anything to my PS4.
Yeah, you probably
Back on
shouldn't.
track.
Anyway, yeah.
End of consoles, progressive consoles that ever change, like PCs. Chris, what are your thoughts?
The progressive console thing. The first thing that comes to mind is when I was a kid in the 90s and they were talking about the Dolphin coming out for the N64, the disc drive that would go underneath. I just imagine the future of us having just like PlayStation 4 is the core system, and then all of a sudden there's like 87 contraptions that
That's what
added
it
on
reminds
to
me.
it. And it's
Yeah.
become some sort of weird Transformer Terminator monster.
Even with the 64, they added the like 2
Expansion.
megabytes of RAM. Or
I have
whatever it was.
that, yeah.
Memory expansion.
Yeah.
Modular. Yeah.
Yeah. That's all I imagine. It's just like, oh, well, you have the core system, well, now you can buy all these extra add-ons.
Yeah, but instead of having a modular system now, it's literally very reminiscent of the PC thing. Because at least for me, my computer, every, I don't know, 2 years, I look into getting a new video card.
Oh, God.
And that's usually anywhere from, depending on how cheap I'm feeling, $150 to sometimes, you got $300-$400 video card.
Yeah.
Buying a console, hopefully not that often, but in the same vein, you're essentially just buying a new video card every couple of years at this point. It's the same exact mentality, except for you're getting the whole
You're paying the
thing.
similar price too.
Yeah.
For video cards.
So,
As a console.
and you're getting to keep your library, and it continues forward.
In a weird
and-
way, though, I see this weird sinister thing behind the curtain with this, and it's you're buying consoles more often.
Yeah.
You're not like with PC. You're buying parts, right? The console, you're buying a whole new fucking. It's the same console, but it's a little better now. And I'm
Just
willing
like the
to try it.
Slims.
I'm willing to
Now
try
you
it.
see where I'm coming from with the
Chris,
Slims.
don't poison my mind. Don't stop poisoning people's minds. I want the Neo, but at the same time, like, this is a test run for me financially. If it's awesome,
Come from the guy who just bought a $1,200 Vive.
Shut up.
Sorry.
Come from the guy that
Stay on topic.
just yeah. But if we keep seeing these upgraded consoles coming out too quickly, it's gonna throw a lot of fucking red flags up for me. Because at that point, I feel like they're almost finding a new way. Oh, your console bricked, buy a new one. There's a new way now of going like, your console's old, it's been 2 years, buy a new one. We used to wait 6 to 8 years for that.
Yeah.
And now we're doing it more often. So I hope, I'm being cynical, but I hope that it's not that. But I feel like it could easily be that. It's a smart
So
strategy.
hopefully it's not like this, where you pay
yearly?
a monthly fee on your AT&T bill or whatever, and every 18 months you can
Don't
come in and...
give them ideas.
Dude. Yeah. That
Because
blows
seriously,
my
they
mind.
can make it so like every year you're getting a new console. I would hate that because at this point I don't give a fuck about cell phones anymore.
Yeah.
They all do the same shit. I don't
Yeah.
care what the stats are. There's nothing on a fucking phone that needs crazy fucking hardware.
Right.
So they all do the same shit. So I'm so out of that now. I don't want to feel like that with consoles.
There's something about that though. Is like with the newer consoles coming out and stuff like that. It's like I feel like I've had this conversation with someone who is just a primarily console gamer. It's easier to just buy a new console, so they think, than to have a PC and to switch
That's
out
been
parts.
for years.
Yeah, well, yeah,
PC
but
gaming
yeah.
just recently quit.
But it's like it's easy. I mean, it's like Chevy like helped me put my PC together. It's like Legos. I mean, you just have to know what parts you're putting into the computer. It's easy. Once you get the whole core in it, like switching things out is simple.
Especially big
but
parts, you just plug it in.
yeah, literally, click. But buying consoles is people just like, I don't want to deal with all those other parts. Blah blah blah. I'm just gonna buy a new one, which is their core, buyers.
Yeah.
People who just want to sit there and play games. They don't want to worry about
it. They just want to work.
Especially because if there's a problem with the console, there's like a firmware, something software related that they can fix. But it's like PC, like the first time, these people, if they were to get a blue screen, they would just commit suicide. It'd be over.
It's got my new whole thing.
A whole new thing.
God.
But yeah, anyway.
I feel like we talked about this for a long time, and I almost wish we did this on a loot chest. But lasting thoughts on the idea of consoles not ending, but just kind of progressing, and are you for it?
They handle it well. As someone who plays PC games, it's not going to be that unfamiliar, and I will be okay with it in that regard. I don't want to see, like I had kind of mentioned earlier, where they start charging a service fee essentially, and then you can get a console every blah 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 months or whatever. If you just pay this fee, type of thing. I don't want to see that kind of situation happen with it. But
do you think it could happen though?
Could it happen? Of course it could.
Do you think
happen.
It's likely?
Depending on like how
this goes,
and how people are receptive people are to it.
Yeah.
They're going to do whatever they can as long as people keep throwing money at them. So
they could not to give people ideas, but they could do like pay for 3 years of fucking PS Plus and you get the console, or something like that. I don't want to throw that out there, but like I'm thinking about like phones now.
Yeah.
How often they come out, we never saw that coming. Now it is now, and we pay for essentially our service, but through time we're paying for the phone as well.
Leasing,
yeah, it's interesting. It'll be really interesting to see how that pans out.
Companies love the idea of services because services is guaranteed money.
There was rumors about a year or two ago talking about internet packages that would offer you consoles. That never happened, but they already were talking about it. Yeah. So it's not too far-fetched. Cody and Chris.
No, Chevy nailed it. Yeah, the whole thing you just brought up is super interesting. I hope it doesn't go that way though, because
me too.
The phone thing still blows my mind. I'm on the same thing. I'm on the same kind of plan, and they didn't even talk me into it. I was just kind of like, okay, sure, whatever. And then I like walked out of the store, and I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
So I hope, because most people, like me, they would just be like, I just want to play it. I don't care. Sure, I'll have a service or I'll do a little thing. So hopefully it's not like that.
I'd say that it's definitely going to go along the lines of what Chevy was talking about, where it's going to be like, it's like the phones. You just upgrade your phones constantly. Consoles are going to do that because they're on the brink of extinction with virtual reality coming out and how fast technology advances. I would say within the next 20 years, you're going to have contact lenses that work as virtual reality systems for you.
Easy.
So they're going to have to fight that. Well, not fight that. They're going to have to race to get as much money as they can for the consumers while they can before that technology comes out.
We need to talk about this on the chest.
We should revisit this on the loot chest.
Yeah, because this is going to be a good one.
Because this brought up a whole fucking can of worms for me. I'm just like, the future!
Yeah.
My thoughts on it, I'm excited for the idea of progressive consoles. Like, it's interesting, but at the same time, I think it is a double-edged sword. I think it can go one of two ways, and I think it is, from a company standpoint, likely for them to find a way to exploit that. Mm-hmm. But the better part of me wants to assume that they're just trying to give us the best product possible in a good way. Like I said, we're coming upon a time where we're going to be able to kind of beta test this idea with the new consoles. Obviously, we're paying for this beta test, but it'll be exciting to see what happens in the future. I just hope it's in no way a way that kind of fucks us as the consumer.
Skynet.
Exactly. But I think that's going to do it for this episode of Taste of Tuesday. As always, thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this episode. Make sure to check out our other episodes. Make sure to check us out on Tumblr, Twitter, Taste of the Gaming. Check us out on Twitch, Sleep Division. And yeah, thanks for watching. My name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
I'm Cody.
And I'm Chris.
And until Friday, we'll be talking about Plus Club. We'll talk about the games we played this month. Make sure to come back. Make sure to play those games and tell us what you thought of them. We'll see you guys later. Take it easy, guys.